All right. So we are here again trying live with Fadwa for our first installment about Let's Talk About Living. All right, a series that we started, Sit Fresco Delhi and Let's Be Wealthy. We started this last year, if not late 2019. I'm actually losing track of the dates, but yes. So we're just trying to get this life up and running. You know how the challenges go sometimes, yeah? Nice. So we are gonna get Fadwa on. Right. Okay. There seems to be some connection problem. So the guys that are on, are you guys hearing me clearly? Let me know. Thanks much. Let me know if you can hear me clearly, if you can see me clearly, and how do I sound to you, and how do I look to you? Let me know. All right, so we're just waiting on Fadwa to come on in. Or you're not hearing at all, anything at all. Okay, so let's try this. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can. Oh, so you're hearing me, but I'm cracking up. Okay, okay. All right, so let's see how the positioning goes as it relates to this video. Right, and Fadwa, I'm not getting you on the live. I'm not sure why. All right, so am I any clearer to you? Can you see me clearer? Can you hear me clearer? Tell me. Not hearing. Okay. You're now hearing. Okay, great. Super. Sweet. All right. So let's try this again. So you know when you have something good to do, everything will go wrong. So that's fine. We're just gonna make it happen nonetheless. Yeah? That's how you have to be optimistic and nonetheless. And here is Fatwa. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Had a little bit of technical difficulty there. I wasn't hearing you at all.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
all. And
yeah.
you're
On
fantastic.
yes, on either accounts I switched over and it was the same. So I'm not sure what was the issue.
Yes, you. I cannot see. Turn up the volume on my phone. Um, though it was up, I just pressed it someone it went.
Yes.
It's looking a little dark over there.
Yeah, I just need to put on the light. Hold on.
Thank you. Excellent. You're here now. Excellent. Guys, remember to share
Better?
the. Yeah, this is better. Share it live with your friends and your family for our first installment about Let's Talk About Living. You know, with Farwa, Gafur, Abdul Gafur
Abdul
Menz.
Ghaffur. Yes, for now.
Nice. Great. How have you been, Farwa?
I've been okay, adapting to this new normal of working from home,
Yeah.
managing teenagers and a household, and of course, a couple of pets. But
Right.
trying to juggle everything,
Yes.
within the
Yes.
work week. It has been hectic, but it's manageable,
Yeah.
on my end. And I'm
Bas-
so glad. Huh?
Basically,
It's
what they call normal. Yeah.
the new normal, where
Normal.
we have to be wearing the face mask, and now everything is virtual, like the Jetsons wanted to have it. And
Yeah.
yeah, we in that space age. I've always dreamed about, zooming around in a space car with a little Ruby in my back seat. So
Well, now,
apparently now we there.
yeah, that's interesting. Great. And what you're experiencing is basically what a lot of person has been experiencing, just change in their whole life. We're accustomed getting ready, leaving the house, hugging, we're accustomed kissing, just interacting. Even like zesting, persons are accustomed zesting dogs, if I may say so myself.
Yeah,
You know,
adapting the first couple of months, with anything is always difficult, especially with new stuff.
yeah. And this is so new for us Caribbean people, and people who were accustomed just interacting generally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we're going to look at a topic as it relates to that. How has or how have persons been adjusting? How have you been adjusting? What are things we could do to make this virtual experience better? Yes?
Yes. I remember when we were now plunged into the new normal with working virtually and stuff. And I've been looking at how other people have been adjusting worldwide.
Yeah.
And this simple thing of commuting,
Mhm.
between work and home, or home and work, you
Yeah.
find that you get that headspace to prepare for work before you get to work, and then you get
Right.
that headspace to prepare for home before you get home, between that
Right.
commuting time. And that was no longer, because home is work and work is home.
Yeah.
And I found like in the beginning, it was crazy, because now I had to put demarcation lines within my living room, because my living room is now my office, as
Right.
well as a classroom for my children. So you find that in between, in the beginning, you didn't know when to shut off, because
Yeah.
I found myself working beyond work hours.
Yeah.
Sometimes I start at 8:30, I start at 9, and then 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I'm like, wait, I'm still behind this laptop, still doing the people's work, and
Yes.
school has ended. So the
Yes.
beginning period was pretty, it was pretty chaotic trying to adjust
Balance
to
that.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people it was like loss of freedom. You can't go here, you can't go there. I know us Caribbean people, we love to party, we love to go hang out, you know, all these different things.
Yeah.
And these things weren't happening. So eventually I kind of developed a routine of my own. As I said, I had to lay out demarcations for what time will work start and what time will work end.
That's what you have to do to make it work. Yeah.
Yes, and then you have to make sure and fix your space. At the end of the workday, you have to fix your space. So your
Yeah.
brain will now register that, okay, work has ended, so now we are back in the living room. So we're back at home. Because I found that, my living room table was littered with textbooks and school supplies and office supplies and all these different kinds of things. And then, when you look at that clutter, your mind automatically becomes highly stressed.
Yeah.
And when you're stressed, your body tends to release what you call cortisol hormones. And that takes your health into a whole different level.
It's
Because
true.
now you're anxious, you're drinking a set of coffee because remember you're just rolling off your bed and you're going to work.
Yeah.
So you're not really preparing yourself as you usually had the routine of you get up, you make breakfast for your family, you organize people, you send them to school or you go to work. So now you're kind of rolling off your bed and you're just walking straight into your living room and you're in your office. But I
Class
have and
and
the
class.
classroom and the
Yeah.
classroom. And now you have to get your children ready. And for people with smaller children, it was even more difficult for them because you have to actually sit with them.
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough that I have teenagers, so it's just a matter of getting the teenagers, you know how teenagers are, of getting teenagers in the classroom setting. So
Yeah.
you have phone calls from teachers because I remembered sitting in the middle of them, either they're on either side of me and I'm at work. But I have to stop work to help one daughter because she's not accustomed to virtual life, even though she's a teenager. Then I have to stop here to answer somebody else's question. So then I realized I was beginning to get stressed out early in the game.
And you can
So
imagine how persons are really stressed out about this,
yes,
because
especially when it comes to people, children's education.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's help persons, and for those of you who are joining us, share your stories about how you have been dealing with the virtual life, even as we list some ways that as Fadwa is going to explain some of the techniques that she used to live and manage the virtual life. I think that's the key there, managing it.
Yes, without going insane.
Right. So
So
those of you,
in the what helped me is that I started to, now that I had the time to be at home,
mhm,
it gave me the opportunity to now recondition my lifestyle and to
right,
tailor my lifestyle to a new way of being. So I incorporated a fitness routine in between the craziness because
right,
you must have that point in time where you could just have what I call me time. And exercising will raise the dopamine levels and the serotonin levels, which will reduce the stress levels. And it will give you an opportunity to, get rid of that stress from the day because you have to be able to switch that mindset.
right.
Um, I started getting up earlier, like the same time I would have gotten to go to work. But I took 2 hours because now that I don't have to commute, I have the extra time. So I took the 2 hours of my me time, where that time I would use sit down, on the prayer mat at that time in the morning, or persons could do meditation, deep
Yeah,
breathing. You sit down and you appoint that time for your me time because you have to get yourself mentally and physically ready for
yeah,
the day.
yeah.
So you're sitting quiet, no phones, don't communicate with anybody for the first 2 hours of your day or the first hour of your day.
About 5 o'clock in the morning, basically.
Right. So that's about five. So
Right.
five and six. Let's say average what time you want to start to make breakfast for your family and take
Mhm.
2 hours before that for yourself. Because
Yeah,
you have to be able to get yourself ready because sometimes what happens is that the caretaker ends up getting sick and they
right.
know after everybody's all well and good,
Yeah,
they're struggling and bringing up the rear and these kind of things.
yeah,
So I found the first 2 hours of the morning as my me time without phones or anything like that. It really worked in order to set the tone. And in those 2 hours, you could also plan out your day.
yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
this is my work schedule for the day. This is what I have to do. This is what I have to do at home. This is what I have to help the children with. If I have to go shopping or run out the road or whatever it is,
Yeah.
you make sure you add that in, so you know you have your day organized. Because when it's haphazard, you tend to be more frazzled. There's more stress, and you're no good to yourself, to your workplace, and to your family.
Yeah.
I found as well to fine tuning my diet, because you know you're home, the snacks there, and of
Oh yeah.
course, of course, now that children are home, they're eating out the cupboard.
Yeah. Not the
So
children, not the
not the
children.
children only, because as an adult, sometimes boredom will get you and you go to nibble on a snack.
Yes. Yes.
But
And
but the snack, but the cupboard full of all kind of different things that you're not supposed to eat, because you know you say you're buying snack for the children and you're down in the children's snack bag and they're
yes.
taking the stuff. So I see somebody laughing out loud there. Your dong is the truth. I catch myself in a with a pack of cheesies, and then I say, what you really doing here?
Yeah. Yeah.
This not good for you.
Yeah.
So what I found was that replacing the packed snacks, the not so healthy snacks,
Some
with
health.
healthy snacks, you tend to you have no other choice but to go and eat the nuts, or to go
Yeah.
and eat the seeds, or to go and eat the fruit.
Yes.
Because watch me, those children, I swear, Natoya,
Yeah.
I would go to my bed in the night and get up and eat crumbs in the morning and wonder where everything went overnight.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the challenges that parents are facing as well, and persons, because you know you're going to COVID looking slim and sexy, and by the time post COVID, you know, we have extra weight, we have
Yeah.
more health issues. So take this time. This time is important in, you know, recreating habits. Even bedtime routines was important, because you
Absolutely.
actually have to get yourself ready for bed in order to get up refreshed for the morning. I know
Absolutely.
sometimes with all this lockdown and we're not able to go out, we compensated by Netflix. What's the next one? Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Well, Flow it working, and all these different avenues that we have. YouTube became very popular overnight, because you know persons were relying on these things for entertainment. So you
Yeah.
find yourself watching probably a series on Netflix, and you watch one episode, two, three, 10, 15 episodes down the line, and you say, okay, one more episode, and when you watch the time, it's 3 in the morning, and you have to get up to go on to the people's work and get your children ready for school.
Yeah.
So you wake up with a minus, almost empty tank,
Yeah.
minus.
Mm-hmm.
So picture yourself trying to go through that day with a minus, and
Eat.
then you're adding on work, school,
Mm-hmm.
cornflakes, some pie or something. If
Anything
yeah,
that's a
because anything that's available. Sometimes food from the night before, you're so tired, you didn't want to go and make nothing. So you grab the best thing you find, and sometimes even the same snacks. Oh gosh, I could eat this digestive now.
oh boy.
Maybe I throw some cheese on it.
Yeah.
So, and then you drink a cup of coffee, which is more caffeine, more
Yeah.
anxiety, on top of the anxiety and the tiredness. So you're
Yeah.
snapping at people during the day, and when your boss call, you're wired, you're
Yeah.
frazzled out.
Yeah.
So having a bedtime routine is so important, because COVID-19 really messed up our circadian rhythm, because we go into bed later and we're getting up earlier.
Yeah.
So we're not giving our bodies that recovery time, that rest time to repair what was damaged during the day and to calm down the body. So all the melatonin decreased in your body, so you have insomnia and you're hyperactive at night. So
Yeah.
what I found that was helpful is that I decided, okay, if I want to get to bed by, let's say, 10:30, because I know I have to get up 2 hours before for my me time,
Yeah.
I would start to prepare for bed from 9. So we leave any phones and them outside.
Right.
Take the phone and we put it away, we put it on silent, so we're getting ourselves ready for bed. So you get your whatever your nightwear is, and you lay it out on the bed. You wouldn't believe how just doing that simple act, gets the body accustomed. That sensory kind of correlation.
It's almost like
So
love as a teen when it is you know you're going out, you put out your whole outfit on the bed because you really want to
right,
go. So, but
exactly.
preparing yourself for bed,
So I like to call it my jammies. So I put out my jammies on the bed. So I had my eyes and my brain. I'm like, hey, but she going to get ready for sleep. Okay. All right. All right. So jammies in check.
Yeah.
Get a nice body wash if it is that you have insomnia, and something like with lavender, chamomile, these kind of things that will relax the sense. So you start to use aromatherapy now to help you calm yourself down. And you get a nice, even if you need to use things like chamomile tea. So you have that. So now your body is recognizing that you're winding down. So you take a nice warm bath, and even if you want to do some bedtime yoga, some little stretches and stuff, just before you go and take your bath, even that relaxes the body because you're tense from the day's work. So you
Yeah.
do a nice bedtime routine, yoga routine, you stretch a little bit, you take a warm bath in it with your aromatherapy stuff. You even light a little lavender candle and these kind of things. Um, so with all these sensory things happening, your body is registering, okay, it's time for us to go and sleep now. And even if you want to read a little book, by 2-3 pages into, you will see your eyes, because people don't understand how much the blue light does affect your eyes at night and affect your brain.
It does. It does.
Because once that blue light hits the nerves in your eyes, your brain is automatically up.
Yeah.
So that's how I've recognized that some devices have blue light filters, so
Mm,
that it may work, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But every time
yeah.
the light hits the eye, the brain registers, okay, it's daytime, so let's stay up. There's a whole party going on up here,
Yeah.
and your body
That's
is tired.
yeah.
So
So
you
true.
put away your phone, you put your alarm on, but you put it away from you. Don't sleep with your phone on your bed,
Yeah.
and put it on silent or airplane mode, so your body
Yeah.
could get a good night's rest. So by the time you settle down and you get accustomed to this routine for a couple of times, you will
Yeah.
see it will get easier to go to sleep after
True.
that.
Truly. So basically, it starts from waking up, getting up, taking some time for yourself. For those of you who are now joining us, we are talking about managing the virtual life, How have you been dealing with it? Of course, we're inviting you to leave your comments on, this specific topic, how you have been dealing with it, and probably some issues that you might need help with, right? So based on what Fadwa said so far, um, it starts in the beginning of the morning, of the day, right? So you get up and you take some time for yourself. Fadwa says she take at least 2 hours for herself, 2 hours, right? And in taking that 2 hours, yes, you do whatever meditational routine that you're accustomed to, be it a prayer, a yoga, you know, reading, whatever it is, devotional, right? Center yourself. And after doing that, we plan our day. The next hour is planning your day, right? Basically, planning out things that you have to do for yourself, for the children, if you have children, for work, and even for school. Because I know there are some school teachers, this whole virtual life has also affected them because
Yes.
now they have to change their whole teaching routine to teaching from home, which is just a whole different ball game, as you would
Yeah,
have
but it's not only that as well, because sometimes if we go to really think about how many of our Caribbean children are accessing this virtual platform, because yeah, I
that's a
mean, we
big
have to recognize that not everybody are privileged enough to have devices, or privileged enough to have parents at home with them helping them, or even privileged enough to pick up packages at school. Because the
correct.
reality is some schools are saying they don't even have material to print. So all these things have affected us, And
Yes, yes.
now that like my daughter has to go out to school from Tuesday, well Monday,
Monday.
because forms five, forms four, fives and six, and standards 4 and 5, they have to go out. So a lot of parents are very anxious. So the stress level is going up. On top
Mm,
of them back to work or working virtually, you have to now worry about your child
yeah,
being safe,
yeah,
health wise, and safe physically. Because
yeah,
with the rise in these crime rates that are happening of recent, a lot of people are really stressed out.
yeah.
And it's,
That's a huge, huge topic that we could really open that can of worms
yeah,
today. But
that is a big can of worms.
we don't have that time
You
right
don't have
now.
the time today. But just if it is that, the key is if you're feeling extremely overwhelmed,
Yeah,
the most important thing is that one, you could find, if you have a friend who you could talk to, somebody who could objectively give you guidance and these things, you go to them. Or even if it is okay to seek a professional, if you're extremely overwhelmed and you need to get that help, because mental health is so important because it forms the
absolutely.
basis of a healthy lifestyle. So please, if you're feeling overwhelmed, there are various organizations you can access. I recently saw the ministry sent around a list of places where that parents and emails parents can, contact if they're having difficulty, in coping and these kind of things. And
Yeah, that's
even
a
in the
really
workplace,
yeah.
yeah,
And I want to stick up in there though, because I think it's so much bigger than it seems. And persons are afraid to say that they want help because we see going to a shrink or a therapist, we see that as, hey, I'm going crazy. But no, you're not going crazy. You just need to balance yourself and you need to have a listening ear. So at least a third person can now tell you, well, what you're experiencing is just being extremely overwhelmed. Or the third person is now just gonna give it a name and you are now going to understand what you're experiencing. So I know sometimes as Caribbean people, we have a problem with having a third person tell us something
yeah.
in the form of a therapist or a shrink, as they call it. As we see in the movies, sometimes you're going to lie down on a chair and, you're telling this
They
person
talk
you're
all their business.
don't call the business.
But it's not only, I don't think it doesn't only relate to Caribbean people, it's worldwide, because now there's a worldwide movement to acknowledge mental health.
Yeah,
And it's so important to acknowledge this you know, mental health awareness, because there are lots of people who are walking around looking normal, and how the saying goes, I look normal, but inside my socks falling inside my shoes is the truth, because you could be looking normal and people don't know on the inside how much chaos there is. So it's so
yeah,
important to seek that counsel from somebody who is trustworthy and experienced enough to guide you through the process. And
yeah,
please don't be afraid to access facilities that are there, especially parents, teachers.
yeah,
um I know some organizations at work, they would have access to these um therapists at work, or companies.
yeah.
So yeah, even a visit to the beach or some park, something, go out in your garden. Yeah, Natoya, I know you live on the beach.
Yes, I'm
Go
actually
out into
my
your garden. I know we started off the pandemic all planting stuff, but
yeah.
momentum picks up and then it dies. But we don't recognize how important it is to go out there, plant and harvest what you plant, because there's a connection with the earth that helps you relax over time.
It's a
So
big, it's a
all
big
that
thing.
is part of the process of managing, living virtually.
Yes. So basically, let's pull it all together because I
Right.
know some persons are saying yes, 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 but they're missing the key points too. It's so easy because everything is online now. So sometimes we tune in, but we're not tuned in, right? So,
Yes.
guys, get up early. Take some time for yourself. Let's put it in plain English. Get up early. Take some time for yourself. Make a list of things that you need to get done for yourself, for your children, for your family, for your husband, for your wife, everybody that's listening. Thank you, sweet Cupid. Yes, she agrees because she's a teacher. Thank you for tuning in. Was it the thing that you said, Fadwa? So we said, wake up early, center yourself, do your devotion, do your prayers, whatever you're doing. Thing number two,
Workouts. You need to
right?
include a workout routine to balance off the stress hormones.
Absolutely. So if it's just taking a walk up the hill, if you live up a hilly place, just do that. You don't have to go to a gym. I know some
Yes.
persons need the discipline of a gym, which is good. Gyms are very, very important and fitness institutions, right? So they need the discipline of having someone to tell them, hey, lift the 10-pound weight or lift the 20-pound weight or whatever it is, you know. And so if it is you have to sign up for the gym, sign up for the gym, right? If you have to walk up the hill where you live or walk down by the beach or circle your house, do that if that makes you feel comfortable, but keep the body moving.
You
Correct?
have to keep moving. Even if it's 15 minutes for the day, every day. You
Mm-hmm.
just have to keep that flow and that will help you balance out for the day. And
Yeah.
you also have to teach your brain how to switch from work to home.
Yes.
If it
Yes.
means after a day of work, if you're working at home, you clear the table and you put back all your nice stuff you normally have on your dining table, put back your
You
little
can.
decoration. So your brain immediately acknowledges, hey, work finished, so now we're back home, you know,
Yes.
and we settle down, we cut off from work time.
Yes.
And we also have to develop a bedtime routine.
Yes.
Set out your jammies, wind down for the night, throw your
Yes.
phone outside in the living room or put it on silent or airplane mode and do this an hour before
Yeah.
bedtime. Make sure you finish eat 2 hours before and also monitor your diet. Don't eat it through and pack snacks.
So, but
So
let
you're
me go
gonna
back to the
change so you're gonna change the huh?
let me go back to the exercise. Take the children with you once you have
You
children.
can take the children with you as
And
well.
also that bedtime routine that Fatwa mentioned, where it is you're kind of toning down. So do that for the children as well once you have children. And
Yeah,
if
because they logged on all day.
yeah, you're logged on all
You
day.
get tired.
Yeah, one of the things that works for me is that I love candles. I love aromatherapy candles. So I light them and I put on some of my favorite music at least an hour before I'm ready to go to bed. So by the time bedtime, that's it. Fadwa can't even get me on the phone, you know? Nobody can get me
And
because
there's so many great apps. There are so many great apps that they have, and even on YouTube. Um, you could even you play it on YouTube, but you put the phone away from you. So when it's finished, it's finished. They have
yes,
sounds like nature sounds, running water, birds
yes,
whistling.
yeah,
But
high frequency.
if you're living in the bush in a bushy area, you don't need that. You'll hear the crickets and the frogs and a couple animals here and there. And
Yeah,
all these things will help you settle. There are sleep apps as well that have sounds that will help you fall asleep. Get a
yeah,
nice tea that will relax the body. But the most important thing is for the body to recognize, well, it's time to wind down for the night.
yeah. Definitely, definitely. And to even add to what you're saying about these songs, tapping into those high frequency sounds, we're made up of frequency. We are vibrational creatures. So when it is, that's why we love music and we love carnival. It makes us feel to dance and enjoy it. But guess what? It's more than that. Like, so sometimes just the sound of a violin would make us feel peaceful. Piano music, the running water, it connects with us so much because we're all made up of the same frequency. So it's a big, big deal to do those things for yourself. I hope you guys are understanding this and receive, because we could say, hey, COVID 2020 was horrible. I'm done. Let me end this. I ain't going through this. We could say all of these things, but then we're losing the battle of life, you know? So we are here with Let's Talk About Living to talk about how we could manage it. And these are just few things you could do to manage it and beat the system. You know, you're stressing about it, you're enjoying it. And the beach is there too. And we're so glad that the beach is open, by the way. I am. Yeah, so any more tips you have to add, my dear
I
Fadwa?
just want to reiterate the gardening, the fervent gardening we had early in the COVID-19, where we were
Yeah,
planting everything under the sun. Um, we could continue doing that. We should continue doing that because it's an excellent way for you to ground yourself and, you know,
yes,
de-stress. It's so relaxing going outside and speaking to your plants
yeah.
and, you know, picking what you harvesting what you plant
Plant.
and, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just being in touch with the earth and
Yes.
nature. So
Yeah.
that's just the last tip. Also make sure and hydrate. Don't have any caffeine too late in the evening because it will keep you up at night.
Yeah. Or don't
And
have any all, but
reduce
I
your
know some
caffeine.
people
Well,
need. Yeah.
some people, yeah, it's addictive to some, but you know, it could be managed because I like my little cup of coffee ever so often.
Well,
But it's everything in moderation. Uh,
an unprocessed version for that is lion tea.
tea. Yeah, green tea is
Dandelion.
great. It's rich in
Not green tea.
antioxidants.
Yeah, green tea. Yeah.
Green tea is an excellent
Yeah.
substitute for coffee. It does wake you up, and even if you can even use peppermint tea, that wakes you up as well.
Yes. As well as the dandelion root, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Good vibes. Good vibes. Excellent. So, well, if any of you have any questions or any comments to add to this, if you feel we would have helped you, or if you still have unanswered questions as it relates to managing this virtual life, you can leave a comment or you can message Sifresco Deli or Let's Be Wealthy. And of course, we'll just communicate with you accordingly. You know, this is our first installment of Let's Talk About Living for the year 2021. Guys, we made it. We made it, right? Our next show would be on March 7th. So look at that. Today is the 7th of February, and the next show would be on the 7th of March. Yeah? Excellent. So
Yes.
you could add whatever additional you would like to add, Fadwa, as we wait to see if there are any comments or any questions on the topic.
It's just a matter of getting your family involved, and I would like to reiterate the importance of your mental health and wellness.
Yeah,
Because we get so busy taking care of others that we don't take care of ourselves, and you cannot pour from an empty cup. So
correct.
in order to work for the same establishment, the same organization, you still need to manage your health because they will replace you. As soon as something happens to you, they will get a replacement because that's
Yeah,
the order of the day. It's about them progressing
yeah,
regardless. So discussion is very important and seek professional help if needed.
certainly. Certainly.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for that, Fadwa. And
you're very
guys,
welcome.
yes. I know some of you are now getting the chance to join us, so we are hoping to save this video, to post it, to repost it, so you can view and comment on that. We're looking forward to just really sharing more topics with you. Sorry, I got distracted there. Right, so thank you so much. Let's see who joined us today. Shayna Small, Ola, is it Ola Sadie Carter or Ola Sade Carter, Sweet Cupid, Trini Douglas, Kurt Tram. I'm just going through a few names. The Therapeutic Touch, The Handyman, thank you, Extra Dark Chocolates, Alucard, Picnic Charles, great, thank you so much. Define Fitness, hello to you guys. Dyer, thank you. Excellent, thank you so much for joining us, guys. Just went through the names quickly. Really appreciate you joining us. And of course, thank you so much, Fadwa, our in-house
You're very
dietitian.
welcome.
Yes. All right. So on March 7th, we'll have our next live. And do we have a topic for that as yet?
We still have to decide, but we are planning to bring on a guest.
Yes. Excellent. All right. So good. And guys, that will be when, boy, next week, Friday and Saturday, so the 11th or the 12th and the 13th, Surf Fresco Deli will be having a pop-up shop at the Coliseum Mall, right? That is the Coliseum Mall in Crown Point, Tobago. It will be our Valentine's Day theme pop-up shop where we'll have our love in the box, we'll have our love in the cup, and we have lots of love to give you, good vibes only. All right, so stay tuned to our pages to get some more information on that and to place your order for your strawberry surprise as well. That's a really top seller. All right, so I am Natoya.
And I'm Fadwa.
Yes, and this was Let's Talk About Living, our first edition for 2021. Join us next time. Take care.
Bye.
Fados. All right.